Transition, a trailblazer in the realm of insolvency, bankruptcy, and corporate law, stands as a beacon of knowledge in the field. Conceived by seasoned professionals with over 30 years of collective expertise, Transition has earned its leadership position by delivering unparalleled training in the domain of insolvency law. Transition is illuminating the path to mastery in insolvency law. It is a place where knowledge transcends illusion. At the core of our success is the SureShot IP program, a signature offering that has propelled numerous aspirants toward achieving their goal of becoming insolvency professionals. Renowned for organizing insightful masterclasses for insolvency professionals, Transition has solidified its reputation for offering top-tier courses facilitated by distinguished faculty. Dr. Ashish Makhija, a distinguished speaker with an illustrious background, needs no introduction. His role in crafting courses for the insolvency professional fraternity has been instrumental in our commitment to excellence. Transition stands as an innovator, introducing cutting-edge online courses on insolvency and bankruptcy law, setting a standard for others to follow. Our commitment extends beyond theoretical knowledge as we provide hands-on practical solutions aimed at enhancing the expertise of professionals. Our courses at Transition are not just creative. They provide substantive knowledge, conceptual clarity, and real-life resolutions. We believe in staying connected with our participants, fostering a community spirit through various social media groups, including the Transition Alumni Group on WhatsApp. Explore transition.com to discover courses that can empower you to spearhead your knowledge domain with confidence and proficiency.
In the realm of corporate law and insolvency law, one name stands out prominently, Dr. Ashish Makhija. A luminary whose influence extends beyond the profound to the transformative, he is a true game-changer with a visionary approach that broadens horizons and transcends boundaries. Dr. Makhija's journey in the field of insolvency law is nothing short of extraordinary. It commenced with a simple observation: the desire of professionals from diverse fields to become insolvency professionals. The initial random tips he shared to assist them in passing exams marked just the inception. Recognizing the necessity for a structured approach, Dr. Makhija conceived the SureShot IP program, an all-encompassing initiative aimed at training and preparing aspirants for the insolvency exam. However, his dedication did not stop there. Soon, he pioneered masterclasses for insolvency professionals, raising the knowledge standards within the insolvency law fraternity. Driven by expertise, passion, and unwavering commitment to the cause, he earned the title of a master trainer in the insolvency law domain. Yet, what distinguishes Dr. Makhija is not solely his role as a trainer. He is a thought leader, a distinguished voice among insolvency practitioners. A man with the rare distinction of training judges and government officers, his impact resonates widely, be it through his distinctive delivery style, best-selling books, or meticulously researched articles. His contributions to the field of insolvency law are numerous, and his achievements too vast to enumerate. He is not merely a trainer or a thought leader. He embodies the roles of a mentor, a guide, and a beacon of knowledge. Therefore, it is with immense pride that we present to you the master faculty and trainer, Dr. Ashish Makhija, a man whose influence is undeniable, whose impact reaches far and wide, and whose legacy is still in the process of being written.
So please start.
Transition.
Sir, we can't hear you. Good evening, all. We are not able to hear you, sir.
You're mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, just give me a second. I think we'll go back. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is it possible? I mean, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Okay. Friends, if you can just open your video so that at least I'm not speaking to blank screens. So my apologies for being mute. Okay. So let's start with this once again. The insolvency law exam proven strategies and tips is the topic of today. And I think, friends, you have taken an absolutely right decision to become an insolvency professional. Now, this is extremely important because there are many things which are involved. Like if you are a chartered accountant or a company secretary or a cost accountant, even in your audits and to day-to-day working, you will also come across IBC. And insolvency professional is as a separate career also offers lucrative opportunities. There are a lot of you can say the questions are being raised whether there is a work for insolvency professionals or not. There is a huge work. We'll talk about that in a meanwhile in a little while. So let's look at this particular thing today, the introduction. The presentation today will talk about how to master the limited insolvency exam. And the idea is, because the syllabus is huge, 23 allied laws and 23 rules and regulations, including the IBC code. So 46 documents or 46 statutes you will have to study. Besides, of course, the 60 case laws. So naturally, how much time does it take to study? How should I study? The strategy, it is extremely important. And today we are going to talk about that strategy only. Now, let us look at, this is the overview of the presentation, friends. We'll talk about eligibility. We'll look at the syllabus. And the exam structure and the format is also very important to pass this exam. And then how transition can help you by organizing the short IP programs. And the preparation strategy is extremely important. We'll cover about the tips. And lastly, we will field the questions if you have any, so that Q&A session will be taking place at the end. So if you have any questions, friends, wait for the end. And in the meantime, you can put it in the chat box. If you feel any question comes to your mind, just put it in the chat box. We will take it up at the end. So let us start with the eligibility. That what is the eligibility? Friends, the eligibility for being an insolvency professional, the first requirement and the foremost requirement is to pass limited insolvency examination. The person must be a resident of India, and the person must possess the qualifications and experience. Now, this is also important. I'll cover that in a little while. And then there are 2, 3 more conditions is that the person must be a fit and proper person. Friends, 1 or 2 persons who have passed the limited insolvency exam, and when they filed their application for registration with the IBBI, it was refused because they found that the person is not a fit and proper person. I can give you a very small example of fit and proper person, that if any disciplinary inquiry is going on, say against a chartered accountant, or some vigilance inquiry is going on against a banker, and it is still continuing. So therefore, even those instances which you disclose in your application typically are considered that you are not a fit and proper person. So I think these are some of the problems which previous participants have also faced. So enrollment with IPA, in fact, friends, once you pass limited insolvency examination, there are 2 requirements. One is enrollment, like you become a member of insolvency professional agency, and then second step is registration with the IBBI. So enrollment and registration are the 2 different aspects. What are the qualifications? Well, if you are a CA, you are a CS, you are a CMA, or an advocate having 10 years of experience. Here, friends, 10 years of experience typically talks about 10 years of membership. So you should be having a 10-year membership as a chartered accountant, company secretary, or a cost accountant, or an advocate. The moment you you cross 10 years, you are eligible to be registered. So here, I just want to clarify one thing. the participants who have completed 9 years can also take this exam and pass it. The reason is that it will take around 2-3 months to pass the exam because you will prepare for that. And once you pass that exam, your mark sheet or your pass certificate is valid for a period of 1 year to register. So you have to register within 12 months. So if you have crossed 9+ years, my suggestion is take this exam. And the moment you cross 10 years, you can register yourself. And then graduates having 10 years of experience in the field of law. So law graduates only. Even law graduates can also do it with a 10-year of experience that is also mentioned out there. And then there are other people who can also do, like those who have master's degree or postgraduate diploma holders in management having 10 years of managerial experience. Here, if you look at very closely, it talks about managerial experience. So your experience as a say accountant or other things will not carry weight. You must carry some evidence that you have managerial experience. If you are not a chartered accountant or a company secretary or a CMA, particularly bankers and those who are master degree holders who are there. And it talks about that postgraduate diploma should be 2 year full time. It can't be 1 year or 6 months or 9 months, right? And it should be from a university which is recognized. And then the last one is also very important, friends. It's like it is meant for graduates also. So you don't have to be a professional to pass limited insolvency, even if you are a graduate in any stream. But you should have 15 years of managerial experience. The word is managerial. So if you are starting your career as an executive, well, that won't count. So therefore, 15 years of managerial experience, and they would like to have the evidence of that. IBBI would like to see that evidence. So that is also important. Now, what are the steps? You have to pass limited insolvency exam, enroll with IPA within 12 months of passing the exam. So enrollment is very important, friends. That 12 months period you get from passing of the exam. And then if you want to register with IBBI, then you have to complete pre-registration education course. This is known as PREC. This is a 50-hour course. It is mandatory. It is spread over a period of 6 to 7 days. I'm also one of the faculty in PREC courses, and then you can register with IBBI. But that course comes later. If those who are valuers here and those who have done valuation exam, you will find that the course has to be done prior. 50 hours, training is to be done prior, and then you can take the exams. But here it is reverse. You have to first pass the exam and then do that PREC course. Now, if anyone has got a doubt on eligibility, whether my 15 years managerial experience is completed or not, or 10 years is completed or not, this is an email ID of IBBI, my dear friends. You can write to them about questions on or clarifications on eligibility. It is basically IP Reg, which is short form of IP registration at ibbi.gov.in. Please mark this. If you have any doubts, first clarify that before you start taking that effort of passing the limited insolvency exam. Let's now look at the syllabus, my dear friends. Overall, if you look at the syllabus, it is divided into 8 parts. Part number 1, my dear friends, talks about Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, IBC, which typically now has 282 sections. Initially, when it came, it started with 255 sections. And then part 2, all rules and regulations which have been framed under the IBC, under the code. And friends, there are 22 sets of rules and regulations which one has to study. And part 3 deals with business laws. So probably in our graduation and in CA or any professional examination, we might have studied Companies Act, Partnership Act, LLP Act, Contract Act, and Sale of Goods Act. So these are the 5 acts which are covered under part 3, which is business laws. And then, of course, we have 13 general laws. And then there are 4 regulations. So these general laws typically include Negotiable Instrument Act, Transfer of Property Act, some portions of CPC, Limitation Law, even now Prevention of Corruption Act and Prevention of Money Laundering Act have also been added, and so forth. Arbitration Act and many other things are there. Plus, there are 4 regulations dealing with securities, SEBI regulations, typically substantial acquisition, LODRs, listing obligations, and disclosure requirements, issue of capital and disclosure requirements, and delisting. So those 4 regulations of SEBI are also there. Then part 5, which is very simple, which is not of great weightage. Only 2 questions come from that, is like general awareness, finance and management, and general awareness. Both have got weightage of 2 marks. And then the next part is very important, friends, part 7, case laws. Can you believe there are 60 case laws which you will have to study? And out of which 31 are of Supreme Court. And mark my words, friends, every case law of a Supreme Court runs into not less than 150 pages. So imagine 30 case laws, 150 pages, 4,500 pages you will have to study. And then besides that, there are judgments, seven judgments of High Court. Then there are a few judgments of NCLAT, and then 8 judgments of NCLAT. So total 60 judgments you will have to study. Imagine 100 pages on an average, 6,000 pages you will have to study. So besides 46 rules, regulations, 60. So I'm not scaring you, but here comes these tips and strategies. That is also very important, and where we can help. Total marks of this exam is 100. Pass marks are 60. You score 59.75, my dear friends, you do not pass. And I know many people who have scored 58.25, 59.75. Very unfortunate, because there is a negative marking. And negative marking says 25% will be negative on a wrong answer. So people actually come down to 59.75, 59.5, 59.25. Very unfortunate. And but be that as it may, the exam pattern is like that. All questions are multiple choice questions. You get 4 options, A, B, C, D, right? So no phone a friend, nothing, no options are available. So you'll have to either pick one of it as an answer. So 30 questions are 1 mark each from sections, from parts 1 to 7. So up to case laws, you will get 30 questions in all, and that will be carrying 1 mark each. What is the main focus here? What is the pattern which has changed? Friends, if you recall, I don't know whether you saw that exam in 2018. Everything was theoretical. There was not even a single case study was there. Can you believe the weightage of the code and the rules and regulations under IBC were 40 marks at that time? But now today, the trend is totally reversed. Now they are focusing on case studies, which is part number 8, last part, case studies. And 35 questions of 2 marks. Now, here comes the most dangerous part, because supposing out of 35, your 15 questions go wrong, 15 answers go wrong. Now, what is the negative scoring for that? 0.25 of 15. So people typically come down from there. So this is a, you don't get the positive mark, but you get negative mark, right? And the duration is 2 hours, but to my mind, 2 hours is good enough. People are finishing in 1 hour, 15 minutes to 1 hour and 30 minutes. 30 minutes you can go for revision, so it's not difficult. So 2 hours is typically sufficient. The exam does not happen at your own laptop. You'll have to go physically to an examination center. They're spread out across India, and they are being conducted by an organization. And then you can choose any date and time. That choice is yours, provided that slot is available. Fees is 5,000 rupees plus 900 rupees as the GST. So total fees you'll have to pay every time for each exam is 5,900 rupees, which is huge. Earlier it was only 1,500 rupees, so they increased it to 5,000 rupees now. Well, no calculators, devices, or smartwatches allowed in the hall. So whenever you go, keep your mobile phone, keep your smartwatch in your car, or hand it over to your family members. It will not be allowed. No study material is provided. Now, this is the most important aspect. IBBI does not provide. And if you give an exam, no review is possible. Which question you answered wrongly, what was the right answer, you will never know it, because they are keeping the integrity or confidentiality of that exam. Now, here comes another important aspect, friends. Your syllabus is effective from 1st July, because that syllabus changed from 1st July 2023. But the cutoff date for the laws is 31st March 2023. So IBC amended up to 31st March 2023. Similarly, all other allied laws and all other rules and regulations amended up to 31st March 2023. Now, to get that becomes very difficult. So what Transition has done is Transition has come out with a fantastic product known as Bare Acts, which is a PDF downloadable and in which there are two parts. Part one contains IBC and rules and regulations. They are all updated up to 31st March 2023. So you don't have to lift a little finger. Just go to the website, download that, and part two contains all allied laws. So all at one place. You don't have to struggle to find out all the laws, and you can take a print and you can read from there whatever way, or you want to read it on PDF, you can do that. So even the Bare Act can also you can obtain. Now this is the pattern and the weightage. I told you there are 30 questions of 1 mark each. So from IBC, you can expect 4 questions. Rules and regulations, 6. So 4 plus 6, 10. So typically IBC and its rules, 10 marks. Business laws and general laws, there are going to be a total number of questions like 11 questions. And then finance and accounts, general awareness will be 2 each. Case laws, you will get 5 questions of 1 mark each. But the last is the most important, is the case studies. This is where most of the people, you see, are not able to crack those case studies because there is nothing, no support available anywhere. So 35 questions of 2 marks each. So there will be 6 case studies which will come and from different areas, right? So from IBC, from liquidation, from personal insolvency, from Companies Act, from Code of Ethics, from Contract Act. So there are different case studies coming from different acts also. Is there any restriction in number of attempts? The answer is no. You can take the exam as many times as you want. But now what they have done is that they have said that there will be a gap between the consecutive attempts should be minimum 2 months. So if you are appearing, say you have appeared on 1st January, not able to pass, you cannot take the exam before 1st March. So this is the 2 months gap is to be there. So typically speaking, maximum 6 attempts in a year. Earlier, there was no restriction, but now they have restricted it. Now, friends, let us look at how transition can help, and then I'll come to the tips and the question and answers. And the past record naturally speaks for transition. The Transition has come out with a fantastic program which is known as Sure Shot IP Limited Insolvency Exam Training. It covers the syllabus comprehensively. It is divided into 4 modules: IBC module, Allied Laws module, Case Laws module, and Case Study module. All modules are important. So whether you do first module first or second, in whatever sequence you can do that. That is not important because they continuously keep on holding those programs, so you can join anytime. That's not a problem. And they have also come out with a signature combo plan, which takes care of the thing that all the 4 plans, 4 modules are included, or one can join individual modules also. So this is the combo module, which contains the all 4 modules, which I have mentioned to you. So it's a program which is specially created for aspiring insolvency professionals. And friends, I'm spearheading that program, and I will be available as a faculty for all those modules. So no one else speaks except me. This is the signature module, 14 days program. 3 hours per day at a very convenient time. We start in the evening, 5 to 8 p.m., whenever you can watch it easily. 42 hours training. Very intensive training, conceptual. My focus is on conceptual clarity. And recordings will definitely be available for some time. But please mark my words, recordings are only a facility. Please attend live. That is more important. But supposing you have been able to miss for, say, 10 minutes because of your connection, or you were traveling or somewhere, so you can rely on the recordings also. So if you miss some part, you can obviously go back. This is IBC module. Well, this is one testimonial. I can share hundreds of testimonials, but I don't think that is important here. So IBC module is where we are covering codes, rules, regulations, and also that general awareness and finance part. So those parts are already covered in a 5-day. This is 5-day class, 15 hours intensive training. Because code is the base, even for case studies. So that's very important. So we cover, I've already mentioned 15 hours. Yeah, this is also another important thing. Practice tests are also given. So because transition has got a wonderful state-of-the-art LMS, and on that LMS, you will find certain practice tests. So timings are very convenient, as I mentioned earlier, and recordings will definitely be available. So case law modules, all 60 case laws are covered. I will be with you telling you how to memorize. So if you look at the second item, it says enhanced memorization tips. The idea is in the examination, you have to recall. Out of 60 laws, one question comes. And how will you remember that which you see case law this was decided? The question is like this. It was decided by Supreme Court in which law? So they will give you a portion of sentence and then 4 names will be given. So memorization techniques are very, very important so that recall is there. So all 60 case laws in 3 days we cover. 20 case laws typically per day. 9 hours practice test again will be there on case laws because how the questions come, that is also important. The third is allied laws module, 23 allied laws, my dear friends. So how will you do that? So conceptual understanding, focus learning is the idea that you will be able to learn allied laws. Again, 3 hours per day for 3 days, 9 hours with practice test and how to read allied laws. That is extremely important. We'll cover all laws here. Case studies module. Now here I want to focus some part of it. 6 live and 6 practice case studies. So you will get 12 case studies, my dear friends. And mark my words, the case studies framed by transition are the most toughest one. Don't you think if you are able to crack the complicated ones, you will be able to crack the simplest ones, isn't it? So therefore, it is very important that we are preparing you not only for the exam, but also for your future as a career in insolvency profession. So it's one of the toughest case studies which transition has. And we covered 12 case studies, as I mentioned, 3 days. 3 days program is that this is more on interactive and discussion based. Case studies are given in advance to you on an LMS. You come back to the class after reading them. So I think that's the schedule which is there. And friends, all these classes are not continuous. Like IBC module for 5 days, we'll give you a break of 2 or 3 days, then the next module starts. Then we give a break of 3 days, next module starts. So this is the way all the modules have been done. Now, friends, let us come to the most important part, which all of you must have been waiting, exam strategy, isn't it? What is going to be an exam strategy? Well, if people do ask me, sir, how long we have to study and how much study we must do? Well, friends, it really depends upon your grasping capability. But the fact of the matter is, earlier I used to say 100 hours. Now I've changed it to 120 hours because the volume of the syllabus has gone up. So minimum 30 days before you take any exam, you must study for 30 days, 4 hours per day, provided your spouse permits you. Okay. Otherwise, if you are able to spend 3 days, 3 hours, so maybe 40 days. So, but don't compromise on that. Don't be in a hurry and take your exam just on the next day. That is not a good idea. So prepare yourself well. Understand the weightage of each topic section. I've shown you the strategy starts from there. Now, tell me, what are you going to focus? Naturally on case studies more, isn't it? But case studies are dependent upon IBC. So first 2 sections are linked and even the case laws. So section number 1, section number 2, section number 7 will lead you to section number 8. So you have to strategize these 4. So if you cover these 4, practically you are covering almost around 85% of marks, isn't it? So rest is also left out, but even allied laws is very simpler. If you understand, it's a very easy scoring thing, kind of a thing. Now, the first thing is you have to gather all acts and laws. As I mentioned, don't go here and there, because if you download from any website, they may not be updated, or you get the latest version. You will never get any version which is updated until 31st March 2023, and you will get confused. So go to Transitions website. There is a product known as Bare Acts. Just download that product, and it comes into 2 parts. You will get a link for PDF, and you can download it from there. That is the best source, my dear friends. In fact, I also refer that Transition Bare Act also for taking these classes. Now, here comes another tip, my dear friends. You will have to study the law at least 3 times. I call it as stop, look, and go. Well, friends, I understand. Reading the law just like that becomes very, very tough. Come to the Sure Shot IP program. I will, take you The first journey to introducing you to the case, to the laws. The second journey, I will tell you how to do that. And that you will have to read along with the case laws. So automatically, my dear friends, your 3 studies will be done. I'm telling you, it's not tough. It is very easy. But only thing is you have to understand the conceptual concepts have to be understood. That's more important. Why IBC came? Why Section 7 is there? Why home buyers were made as financial creditors? Now, there are all stories behind it. This is what I capture in my all these modules. So once you understand the concepts, friends, you will never forget it. And mark my words, if I do case laws with you, I can guarantee this. You will never forget it in your life. Because I narrate them as a part of a story. And that actually gets stick to your mind. And I will give you certain keywords how to recall. So this is what you will have to study. So even if you are not attending classes, friends, try to remember case laws as a story. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So case studies also need thorough knowledge of theory and case law. That is what I mentioned. So section 1, section 2, section 7. If you have read it, only then you will be able to do section 8, which is case studies. Now, here comes another tip. The questions are very tricky. Friends, if it's a theoretical question, I'm not going to ask you a simple question that if financial creditor wants to start CIRP, what will be the form number? Now, this is a too straight a question. I will never ask. If I'm an examiner, I will ask in a negative manner. Which form is not applicable? So if you don't read question properly, then your answer is going to be wrong. So reading, because there is a trap which is laid down. So the questions are all tricky. They are not simple questions. So therefore, friends, you will have to read the question very carefully. Sometimes they are couched in negative language. Sometimes there is a double negative. So question is in a negative and the answer is also starts with not. So therefore, be very careful when you read that question. So that is extremely important. Now in exam, I told you 2 hours. How do you manage our time effectively? Well, friends, you know that there are 35 questions of case study. So naturally, you need more time for case studies because a case study which comes on screen, now you need to read that carefully. 5 minutes you will spend on reading. They will provide you a piece of paper, A4 size paper with a pencil, so you can make your short notes. That is not a problem. That will be allowed. You make your short notes and then you start answering it. Because you can't go back every time to read the case study and then because it will waste time. So you have to manage your time very, very effectively. So how can you do that? Friends, transition is also coming out very soon with the practice tests or practice exam. Total like 65 questions. And you see whatever questions are there, it will be for 2 hours. And similarly, under the exam conditions, multiple choice questions. And the moment you finish, you will get your, you see, result, whether you pass or fail. And then the best part in the transition practice exams, which are going to come in next 10 to 15 days, will be that you will be able to review your answers. Now tell me, if you answer a question wrongly, and if somebody tells you, no, 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 my dear friend, the answer was not A, but the answer was D. If somebody tells you on a particular question, will you ever forget that? You will never forget it. Because once you go to IBBI's exam, nobody tells you what went wrong. But transition practice exams, which are typically based on IBBI exam, they have a bank of around 6,000 questions. I think you will be very well prepared to do that. And in the past, we have seen the improvement. People were scoring initially 45%, then they went up to 50, 51, and then they went up to 75% also. So I think practice is the key, my dear friends. Problem solving techniques, because case studies are typically that. And one of the tips which I can give you is very important. If you're totally blank on any question, you don't know whether it is A, whether it is B, C, or D. You have never studied it, right? जिसको बोलते हैं ना out of syllabus exam question आ गया. So because you have not studied it, how to handle it? Leave that question. Can you believe this? 65 questions, you can safely leave 10 questions and can still pass the exam. 2 days back, I got a call from one of the participants. And what did she tell me? She said out of 65 questions, she left 10 questions. She attempted only 55. Do you know what her score was? 75.25. So that is what is important. Supposing she had answered these 10 questions and they would have gone wrong. Of course, she scored 75, that's all right. But supposing she would have scored only 64 or 65 and she answers these and comes back, well, she will come back below 60%. So don't do that, my dear friends. That is extremely important. So I will encourage you to join the Short IP combo module, which is important. You can go to transition.com. This is the phone number, my dear friends. If you have any questions, you can call at this number. They will clarify whatever the doubts, like when these program is starting. So number is 8800161008. You can note it down if you wish to. This is extremely important. Okay. And well, study from bare acts. Now, this is one more thing which people ask me. Should I take any book? Go to Amazon.com, you will find. Amazon.in or Flipkart, you will find few books. But if you want to really pass this exam, my dear friends, my suggestion is please do not purchase any book. I'm saving your money. Okay. So read only from bare acts. Nothing else is required. No books are required because books, I've also seen they're totally confusing. Many publishers came to me for writing books also. I said, I'm not going to write. Let people read only from bare acts. Prepare yourself thoroughly. That's very important. And if you join combo module, I think that will save your time. That will you see upgrade your knowledge in a very shorter period of time. That I can assure you. These are the typical dates now for IBC module, 12th to 16th April. Then we are giving a gap of, 2 days. And then it is starting from 19th to 21st, then 2 days gap, 24 to 26. Then there is a small little gap and then 1st to 3rd. So if you start from 12th till 3rd, you will cover the entire syllabus one time. And then you can do your self-study for next 15 days and you are ready to take the exam maybe at the end of May. So if you start today, my dear friends, end of May is the typical time you will be ready. And as far as transitions, um, uh, testimonials and record is concerned, there is a pass percentage of not less than 99%. And many people have scored, can you believe, one of the persons who was trained by me, he scored 88 marks and another person scored 76. First, he scored 76. Do you know what happened? He got a call from IBBI and he was interviewed on phone for 1 hour. उनको लगा उनका एग्जाम का कुछ सिलेबस का पैटर्न खराब हो गया. How can a person score 76 marks? And he answered all questions because all doubts were right. Then he said, "कि सर आपने कोई कोचिंग लिया?" उन्होंने कहा, "साहब yes, कोचिंग लिया है. I've been trained by Mr. Ashish Makija." He said, "Then it is all right." And then another person from Chennai, he scored 88 marks. And another person also scored 80.5. He's from Gujarat. So all these names are there, which I'm telling you, they are not their actual names. If you want to talk to them, you can also talk to them. So today we have got and transition short IP batches. There will be recorded lectures also, right? Once these are batches are complete, there will be recorded lectures which will be available. And Bare Act in PDF, as I mentioned already, I have told you that you must do that. Well, now it is time for questions, my dear friends. So if let me see if there are questions in the chat box, and then otherwise we'll ask people to unmute themselves also. Okay, I think there are no questions on the chat box. Yes, but there are. Okay. Mr. Akhilesh Tripathi is saying, is it possible to have classes in morning on Sundays and holidays? Well, you are right because we are all busy professionals, but what we have done is if we only do it on Saturdays and Sundays, then the program actually goes because it is a 14-day program. So then it will be spread over 7 weeks. It will become you will feel burnout by the time you will not, because the link gets broken. So idea is once you start reading it on a daily basis, continue your studies and pass the exam quickly. So that is what you see, it is very important. And Mr. Mahendra Sureka says that I have already joined the 4 combo modules. Yes, sir. We look forward to seeing you. And do we need to prepare before joining the course? Nothing is required, friends. Well, let me tell you one more thing. When you join this program, my first advice is whatever you know about IBC, unlearn it. do it from a fresh start. If you come back with some baggage, that becomes a problem for me. So unlearn and relearn. I think the focus should be to pass the exams. So you don't need to read. I'll give you one of the suggestions. Please read that BLRC report, Bankruptcy Law Reforms Committee report. If you would have read it, it will be good because that gives you the genesis of this thing. Mr. Datta says, I missed the phone number. Okay. I think I will request transition to put it on the chat box. The number, of course, if you want, it is 8800161008. I'll request the transition people to put it on the chat box. Okay. And yeah, just give me a second. Okay. Yeah. So let us look at the next one. Mr. Sureka says, Bear Acts, you're saying amended up to July. Sir, there it is written there on that July 2023, but it is updated up to 31st March only. It is as per syllabus of July. So that is why I don't get confused, right? Otherwise, I think that also came to my knowledge. They have corrected it in the new lot. So, but don't worry, the things remain same. Or study after the course. Yeah, see, the point is, once you do that, I will tell you how to study. That is more important, right? Once you come to know about it. Okay. Yes, this is a question. Now it's very important. No, sir, only holidays. See, Mr. Tripathi, holiday classes, they become a drag. That's what. See, today, if you have focused it, na, so please do it. I mean, you will not regret it. And in any case, the recordings will be there. If you're not able to attend, see them on a Saturday or a Sunday. I think that will be better. Okay, now this is a good question.
Sir, sir, may I ask you? Sir, actually, my question was in fact, I am actually agree to join the classes on the weekday, no issue at all. But on holidays, on Sunday classes, only the Sunday classes can be arranged anytime in the daytime, not all the classes.
Acha, you are saying Sunday classes to be in the daytime. That's
Ah,
what you're saying.
yeah.
So 5 से
Actually, in the
5 to 8 कोई family time है.
हाँ हाँ जी this is the issue in fact.
So anyway,
Otherwise,
let transition consider it because typically you see it is meant for all participants. So we'll definitely consider. Okay.
So I have a
please, sir,
similar
please.
same request. I have the same request for Sunday classes.
Sunday. No, we can do that. We could do that. We'll definitely consider that. Okay.
Please, sir. But very kind of you. Thanks, sir. Thanks.
Mr. Rajiv Sharma has a good question. He says, how an IP gets the work? Well, Rajivji, there are two aspects where you can get the work. If you are a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or an advocate or a company, say, how do you get work? Tell me. If you are practicing, networking, connections. So naturally, you will have, once you pass this exam, there is no dearth of work for good people. Let me tell you. So there are two things. One is you have to get yourself empaneled with several banks. And those empanelments, whenever it is granted, they will recommend your name. Two, you are also getting empaneled with IBBI. These names are given to the NCLT benches, and on a first come, first in, first out basis, they give you the UC assignments. And in many cases, many people have got it from NCLT panels, very good cases, real estate cases worth 500 crores or 1,000 crores or 2,000 crores. So don't worry about the work. And then as an IP, see, you have a better knowledge. You can be a consultant. You can advise a promoter how to create a resolution plan. If he's submitting a plan of 100 crores, will he not pay you 10 lakh rupees as a fee? I'm not discussing fees here, but the point is the scope is unlimited, my dear friends. If you have a better knowledge of IBC, don't you think, if supposing you are a chartered accountant or a cost or a company secretary, you'll be able to conduct forensic audit in a better way? Because now you know better the provisions. So friends, as far as the work is concerned, there is absolutely no dearth of work. If somebody tells you that, oh, IP mein to yaar kaam hi nahi hai, most of the people, they are discouraging you. And let me tell you, nobody wants competition. So therefore, people discourage. So don't go by that. That's a myth. Okay. So do this. This is very important. And sir, is leaving question allowed in exam? Yes, Mr. Soman Ghosh. Yes, it is allowed. It is absolutely allowed, and you can leave the questions. It is treated as not answered. You will not get a negative mark for that, but it is simply treated as that you have not answered it. That's all. So negative में count नहीं होता. That is the best part of leaving that question. That is allowed. Okay. Of course, FAQs में अगर if you go to FAQs of IBBI, वहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? Participants, candidates are have to answer all questions. And then उसके सामने एक sentence लिखा हुआ है. If you leave any question, it will not be counted. Well, so you can leave it. Okay. So that is there. Okay. Yeah, I think the phone number is already given in the chat box. That's fine. Mr. Sureka again says, sir, we are working professionals. Request your recordings be available for a month. Sureka साहब, मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं. The point is, in fact, when we started this program, it was only live classes. In fact, we were doing physically. ये तो COVID के time में virtual हो गया. There were no recordings which were, because I always tell, please come and interact with me. Ask your questions on the spot. You will learn better. Recordings में ना वो मजा नहीं आता. और आपको रिकॉर्डिंग कितनी बार देख लो सर. आपने एक लाइव क्लास अटेंड कर ली 3 घंटे की, आप कितनी बार देख लोगे?
2-3 बार sir.
सो वो आपको नंबर ऑफ डेज, वो आप नवीन जी से बात कर ले, आप जिनसे भी बात कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक they will be able to tell you that how
Naveen.
recordings are there. Yeah, that will be better. Okay. Reference. Yes, BS Nagaraja says reference. Yes, naturally the references are there. Okay, now this is important. Mr. Jayaraman says, in my previous 3 attempts, I scored 59, 59, 57. I plan to write the exam in 3rd week of April. Please guide. Oh, Mr. Jayaraman, I think it's very unfortunate that you got stuck at 59, 59, and 57. Now, if you are taking the exam in the 3rd week of April, probably by that time you can do our 2 of our modules. Come there and we will work with you on a personal basis also. Even if you are not in a position to join that program, my suggestion is simple. Keep it very simple. Don't overburden yourself. And if you do not know the answer, probably you are getting negative marking. And that is why you have dropped down to 59. So if you do not know the answer, please leave that question. That's what I'm saying. 10 questions you can leave safely. That is one of the tips. The great, but don't get greedy. That's what I can say. Okay. So it's very important. Okay. Can we have our website to market our IBC services? Okay. Good question, Sureka sir. What happens is, once you become an IP, you can create an IPE, Insolvency Professional Entity. And if you are practicing as a chartered accountant, you can also practice as a IP. That is permitted. You can continue your practice as a CA, CS, CMA, advocate also, and you can still practice as this. All the 3 institutes have permitted. There is no problem. As far as having your website, as an IP also, you can have your website. But if you have an IPE, which is an entity, you can definitely have a website, and you can also send your biodata and all that. This is not treated as soliciting. So soliciting is not prohibited in IP profession. So that's a good part. It is prohibited in other profession, but not here. Okay. And when we will have access to LMS court material in advance so that we can prepare a bit. Yes, I think typically speaking, the access is allowed 48 hours before the class, but I think they are working on a fresh model now. So it is being tested. So once it is tested, I think they will made it live. Okay. Mr. Nitin Lohia talks about cost. Well, as far as the cost is concerned, friends, just visit transition.com. I've given you the number. Talk to Mr. Naveen Khanna. I think you will be able to get all those costs and all. Plus, mark my words, friends, spending their 5,000 rupees, spending 10,000 rupees on the books, that's not a good idea. And if you don't, like one of our friend has spent 15,000 on 3 exams, isn't it? And he must have taken some books also. So tell me how much money he has spent. Spend it wisely. And I'm telling you, this course or modules are not only for passing the exam. You will be one of the best IPs. I'm telling you. And people who have become IPs after this training, they do tell me, sir, हमारे को इतनी conceptual clarity है, we can beat any person now. So that is what I focus. I don't focus for passing the exam. See, speaking is my passion. Taking classes is not my profession. This is only a passion. I'm a Supreme Court lawyer. But the fact of the matter is, I want, with my passion, I want you guys to become one of the best IPs. That's the target. There's nothing else more than that. Because profession में अच्छे लोग आएंगे, knowledgeable लोग आएंगे, तभी profession grow होगा. Otherwise, people will raise fingers on any profession, isn't it? That's the idea. So please do that. That's extremely important. So friends, I think I have completed my presentation. If you have any questions, okay, Mr. Jayaraman is saying now the cooling period is 21 days from April. The syllabus is going to change, please. Okay. Well, cooling off period, yes, they are trying to change it now. They are changing it, but there is one more catch. As far as change of syllabus is concerned, friends, he's also right. The syllabus changes typically after 12 months to 15 months. But IBBI has to inform the change of syllabus at least 3 months before. So if they want to change syllabus, say if they issue a notification today, that means the syllabus is not going to change before 6th of July. So you will still get 3 months under the old syllabus, right? So today there is no notification of change of syllabus. So please do it. That's what I'm saying, because it is becoming tougher every time. Every time they add more laws. Every time they add more cases. Can you believe earlier there were only 10 Supreme Court judgments? Today we have 31 Supreme Court judgments. And every judgment of Supreme Court is not less than 250 pages. I can tell you this. So the volume and the load typically increase. So any time is a good time to pass. And typically this time is a good time because the syllabus is, they are going to change the syllabus very soon, but still you will get 3 months on this. Okay, Mr. Rajiv Sharma says, sir, I am in job retiring in October 2025 and propose to practice after retirement. My first attempt will be in October or December 24 to have a valid score at that time. Do they start next course somewhere in July, August? Yes, sir. Mr. Sharma, these courses are on continuous basis. I think every alternate months, these programs will carry on. Otherwise, there will be recorded classes which will also be there, which can help you. So whenever you are ready, please join. I think that will be a good thing. I believe are you a banker, Mr. Rajiv Sharma? Because most of the bankers look for retirement and then come to this profession, isn't it? Okay. So I think this is extremely important. Yes, friends, any question? I think you can now unmute yourself and ask any question if you still have any doubt. So,
Good evening, sir.
yeah, good evening.
Sir, I just want to ask you one thing that the classes will be conducted online, right?
Yes, they are
All the
all,
sessions will be conducted online.
yes, absolutely. No physical classes today.
Okay. And so my next question is that I have done my PhD, and since last 14 years, I'm the academician. I'm the faculty of law at Symbiosis Law School, Pune. So whether I'm eligible to give this exam, I teach this course. I love this course. I want to learn many more things, basically. So that is my intention to give this exam. So, but whenever I read this qualifications or eligibility, though I'm a lawyer, but I have not. I am the member of this, but I have not practiced. No, sir. So definitely,
Are you the member of bar, any bar?
yes, 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 yes,
Uh,
yes. Bar
so
Council of India.
Bar Council of India, you are registered with them, right?
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
how
yes.
long you have been there? More than 10 years?
No, sir. I have registered there, but I'm, develop my interest or my career in as an academician.
No, no. Once you became a member of Bar
Yes,
Council,
yes, 10 years. Yes, sir. Yes, answer is
more than 10
yes,
years.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
therefore, I think you will qualify. But what I still
Okay.
suggest is, I've given you that email ID in between, right?
Yes, yes. I have noted down that, sir.
Just send an email. I think they will clarify. But according to me, you are well qualified because you have even your experience as an academician plus your registration with the Bar Council, both will be added and they will be calculated for the period of 10 or 15 years, whatever it is there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay.
I
So
think
classes will be online, no physical classes,
physical classes, they're all online classes.
and
And
evening classes or morning classes or anytime classes.
it is there 5 to 8. Typically, I
Okay.
mean, when you are free in the evening, there are those. But if you miss any part of it, recordings are available.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this information.
Friends, I think we must appreciate Trupti Rathi's, passion to learn, isn't it? Even after being in PhD, somebody wants to learn, right? Well, for your knowledge, I am also a PhD in law.
That's great, sir.
I've done two
Okay.
LLMs. I'm also an insolvency professional, but I don't practice. I'm practicing as a lawyer only. I'm also a chartered accountant. I'm also a cost accountant. So learning never
Basically,
stops.
all these things inspires me, no? So that is the reason I ask you this question, sir.
I
Even
think
I don't want to practice, but I just want to update myself. That's the only thing, sir.
I think most of the people who are coming here, all of them are professionals and they have got attained a lot of degrees and other things, but still there is a passion to learn. So we really appreciate. I think everyone
Thank
will
you, sir.
inspiration. Yes. Mr. Shekhar Sen Gupta is asking, sir, is the book of yours on analysis of case laws available? The answer is no. The last edition was fifth edition, which was updated till 2021. Unfortunately, it could not be updated. But once you attend case law classes, my dear friends, you will get the similar type of facts, issues, and ratios. In every judgment, you have to find three things. I call it as FIR. Well, it is not first information report, but it is F stands for facts, I stands for issues, R stands for the ratio of the case. अगर आपने केस लॉ में ये तीन चीजें पढ़ ली तो पूरा केस लॉ समझ में आ गया बट द फैक्ट इज कि रेशियो निकालना सबसे मुश्किल होता है इफ यू आर अ लॉयर इफ समबडी इज अ लॉयर और होल्ड्स अ लॉ डिग्री you know that finding a ratio in a judgment is the most toughest part 250 पेज पढ़ने पड़ता है so therefore
What do you mean by ratio, sir?
sorry हाँ
What do you mean by ratio?
ratio means the reasoning last you see if you read the last line either the appeal is dismissed or application is dismissed or allowed that is a decision but what was
Yes.
the basis of that decision what was the logic what was the reasoning that is known as ratio और वही find out करना सबसे important होता है that becomes a principle. And I think once I take you to those classes, you will love them. You will say that look, oh, case laws are so easy. You will remember it like a story. That's what we are talking about. So right now, no book is yeah. What you can do is if you are able to get hold of my earlier book, right, 2021 fifth edition, even that will help you. Why? Almost 60% of the cases are similar. They have changed the syllabus, but 50 to 60% cases are still the same. So whatever I mentioned in the earlier book will also help you at least 50% of the time. But otherwise, if you join classes, I'll give you those portions as a notes to you. Don't worry about that.
So
Okay.
do we get a list of this case law, sir?
हाँ सर लिस्ट ऑफ केस लॉज आपको मिल जाएगा आप एक काम करें सर अभी ट्रांजिशन पे सिलेबस डाउनलोड करने का एक लिंक है आप वहाँ
Okay.
ढूंढ लेना once you download it from there it will contain the list of 60 cases also
Okay, sir. Thank you,
so
sir. Thank
we
you.
have made it easier for you right.
Thank you.
Okay. Sen Gupta ji says, Shekhar ji says, yes sir, I have it. So if you have it, you are lucky sir, क्योंकि आजकल वो किताब मिल नहीं रही है. In fact, it was one of the best sellers. Unfortunately, I could not revise it because of my some preoccupation. In fact, I'm working on another book, which is a commentary on IBC, which I wrote in 2018. Now I'm working on an update, which is a 2,300 page book. So it is being published by LexisNexis. So I think it will come in next 3 to 4 months. So I'm working on that right now. But this is also a target. Will someday we'll come out with analysis of cases also. Okay, friends, any more question? Mr. Sudhakar Rao, I think you have raised the hand. Either accidentally, Sudhakar Ramaiya ji, do you want to ask a question? Or anyone, friends, don't, you see, ask anything. I think that's very important right now. Clarify your doubts. Don't be afraid.
We're looking forward to the classes to learn actually
You're
and
welcome.
increase our knowledge. Yeah.
You're welcome, sir. I think you will really appreciate it. You'll love that. I can guarantee you. Okay. The idea is to pass. That is more important. And we will make every personal attempt that you pass it. We'll review your performance, we'll give you practice tests, and we'll make sure that you study. That is also
Thank you,
very
sir.
important, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hello, great. So if there are no more questions, Mr. Nagaraja, yes, sir, you have raised hand. Do you want to ask a question? Just unmute yourself. Okay, if you are hearing me, Mr. Nagaraja. Okay, I'm not sure whether we can hear him. Okay, Fine. I think, yes, you can hear. So you just raise your hand, Mr. Nagaraja. Can you just unmute? And if you want to ask any question, can't unmute. Okay. Okay. Let me send a request to you. Ask to unmute. Now, can you unmute? No? Okay. I don't know why others are. Okay. Mr. Deepak Gupta is asking, sir, for any professional who had been into other than law companies, how difficult it will be. No worries, Mr. Deepak Gupta. Can you believe civil engineers, architects, and other engineering field who know nothing about law? Naturally, unko bicharon ko kya pata? They came to our program and they have been trained by me and they have passed in the first attempt. So don't worry whether you are practicing in income tax or in some other law, not in IBC or Companies Act. Don't worry. I can assure you that you will definitely become an insolvency professional, and the target is in the first attempt itself. Right? That is the target. So join this, come to us, and we will take you. We were part of your journey. That is what I can assure you. Okay, all right. Okay, so friends, the link is also given in the chat box for the Bear Acts as well as for joining the course. You can talk to Mr. Naveen at that number, which has been already been conveyed to you. And if you still have any questions, you can write to transition at info@transition.com. I think we will answer all your questions. That is not a problem. So I think if there are no more questions, then probably now we can say goodbye to each other. And let me show you the last, you see, slide, probably a thank you slide for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Great, sir. Thank you so much and good luck
Thank
to all.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you,
look
sir. Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you to these classes.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much. Thanks, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.